Hey, salut les gens, comment allez-vous? Bienvenue sur ce petit live, les Chevaliers du Baphomet 2. Ah putain de canette à la con. On continue les aventures de Nico et Georges, toujours à Marseille. Alors, on est coincé là.
There wasn't much I could do with a pulley that didn't have any rope.
Il faut trouver une rope. Est-ce que je peux trouver... Ah ben, avec ce qui était attaché Nico peut-être. Bon, je dis ça. Allez, prends tout, fais pas chier, Georgie.
I decided to keep the masking tape. It was bound to be of some use to me.
Et c'est tout. Y'a pas de corde? Sérieusement? Ah, j'ai pas de corde. J'ai des menottes, j'ai un string. Mais je suis un peu déçu là. Et puis on repose ce. Oh. Le diable sur la statue pourrait être... Le diable et la statue. Ni. Oh. Ça. Ah.
There wasn't enough room to move the handle.
Bouge ça, couillonnax, hein.
No chance. Whatever those crates...
T'es sérieux, Georges?
I didn't want to risk dropping the crate and releasing its live con...
Il est sérieux? Oh, boulet! J'ai rien compris. Mais bon.
I couldn't move the...
Alors.
Hopefully, the tape would prevent those doors from closing and stop the Indian from being able to call the elevator. The pallet rose about 6 inches off the floor, and I said a silent prayer to whoever had discovered the power of hydraulics.
What on earth are you doing?
Trying to raise the statue so I can hook it to that pulley.
Is that really going to help us?
I like to keep myself occupied in times of stress. I guess the wheels of the cart were... There wasn't much I could do with a pulley that didn't have any rope.
Genre, il n'y a pas de corde. Mais c'est quoi cette arnaque? Mais j'ai pas de corde. Réflexion.
The short chain stopped the cuffs.
Ok, c'est une idée à la con. Voilà la corde.
It would be much easier to attach the rope to the statue first.
Mais feu! saoulé. Ah, Georges.
There wasn't much I could do with a...
Putain, faut tout faire. C'est un truc de fou. Allez, pousse-le le truc.
It was too... I
Mais
didn't see a need to raise the cart again. I didn't want to... I didn't see a need to raise the cart again.
Mais il se fout de ma putain de gueule.
These doors were not.
Il n'y a pas un bouton spécialement fait pour.
There was no... Nothing happened. It was too heavy.
On va demander à Nico du coup.
Could you give me a hand to push this statue?
What for?
This, my dear, is our passport to freedom.
If you say so, dear.
Oh Nico, tu vas me parler sur un autre ton, hein?
Okay, push! Great teamwork.
Nice to be working with you again, Mr. Stobart.
Oh, toi je vais te laisser à Marseille, tu vas te débrouiller pour rentrer tout seul à Paris, hein? Sorcière. Ouais. Le story, bon, j'ai envie de te dire.
I thought about hanging from the cable, but it was too far.
Ah non, mais elle est... Je sais pas ce qu'elle a dans cet épisode-là, mais elle est chiante.
Nico, I have a great idea.
Allez. Avec des chats de fou. Il y a un petit pouf dans la mer. Et une chance qu'on peut nager.
George, where have you been?
Never mind that. Do you have the Mayan stone?
Maybe I have, but,
Don't argue, André. Give the stone to George.
well, of course. If you say so, Nicole.
Oh putain, on lui André le binou.
Thank you so much, Andre.
George, he told me you'd been kidnapped, my dear. I'm glad to see he was mistaken.
Oh, but it was true. If it hadn't been for George, I wouldn't be here now.
It's not finished yet. Karzak's thugs will be back for that stone, you can bet. The best lead that we have is Caramonte City.
Caramonte is in Central America. That's where Ubier gets his artifacts.
That's all we needed to know. Come on, George.
Putain, pourquoi j'ai pas droit à la version française? Je veux mes accents racistes.
Quaramonte, the traveler's rear entrance to Central America. Well, that's how it's translated in the brochure.
Guerrilleros, quoi. Très
We
discrète.
didn't know what we were looking for, but the offices of Condor Trans Global seemed a good place to start.
Comme de par hasard, nous étions attendus. Bon. Oh non, pas la chèvre. Pas l'immonde Raymond.
Hey, it's market day. I don't see any cabs. Let's ask someone how to get to Quaramonte City.
Okay. Keep your eyes peeled for any sign of Condor Transglobal.
Ah, l'immonde Raymond. Dans le premier, la chèvre qui te cassait les pieds dans les ruines en Écosse. Si tu ne sais pas l'attacher, tu mettais des coups de corne et tu vas le dinguer, quoi. C'était l'immonde Raymond.
Hey, cheer up, guys. What's with the long faces?
Our pipe player has been arrested and thrown in jail.
Poor Miguel. He never broke the law in his life.
Why was Miguel put in jail?
For playing folk music.
What?
It's true, senor. He insisted on playing traditional Quaramonte music, even though it's illegal.
Ah non, pas la chèvre chaman. J'en ai fait des cauchemars cette nuit.
Why don't you try playing a tune to cheer yourselves up?
No, we should be looking for real jobs.
We could earn 10 times as much down
Comment il
the
s'appelait
line.
la chèvre?
My cousin Ramirez was earning 8 pesos an hour.
Princesse, un truc comme ça, ou
Before he
duchesse, je
lost
sais
his
plus.
legs in the
Un truc à la
accident.
con, quoi. Putain, Ah, chèvre de Méduse.
Tell me about the accident at the mine.
There was an explosion at Teoculcan. 30 miners were buried alive.
They got some of them out, though.
2 of them, including your cousin, and they left half of him behind.
Charmant. Oh tiens, les touristes américains du 1.
George Stobart, well, of all the...
Mrs. Henderson. Boy, this is some coincidence, huh?
When you've been married to a fruitcake like Dwayne as long as I have, you stop believing in coincidence.
I'd met Pearl and Dwayne on the other side of the globe in Syria. He was an army veteran who suspected he was working for the CIA, but wasn't sure. She was less obviously deranged.
Un peu moins folle,
Is
c'est
Dwayne
vite
here with
dit.
you,
Hein.
Mrs. Henderson?
Why, sure, I couldn't leave him home alone. Since Dwayne came back from the war, we couldn't bear to be apart.
So, where is he now?
We ain't speaking.
Why aren't you speaking to Dwayne?
Because he's an old spoil sport sourpuss. I want to visit one of those old pyramid places, but Dwayne says he has to stay in town.
Right. And you don't want to go on your own.
Well, there's no point in going to the pyramid if there's no one around to take my picture.
Is Dwayne still working for the CIA?
If he is, he doesn't know it. He's what they call a snoozer.
Don't you mean a sleeper?
No, this is different. He used to think he worked for them, but the psychotherapy cured him of that. What he doesn't realize is that now he really does work for them. At least that's the way I understood it.
Oh, bah, vous m'avez perdu les deux là.
What brings you to Quaramonte, Pearl?
What takes me just about
Moi, c'est
anywhere.
Quaramonte, si.
The
Bam,
market.
bam, 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 bam,
You
bam.
drove
Pardon.
2,000 miles to go shopping?
Shopping is my role in the economy of the great design, George.
What do you make of this statue, Pearl?
Hoo-wee, that's a spitting image of Dwayne's brother Sheridan. A little less body hair, maybe, but it's him all right.
Bon, pour le moment, ils ne servent à rien.
Catch you later, Pearl.
Policia, si.
Hey, Nico!
Hey Nico, limite il parle comme ça quoi. Voilà, signor.
I have done just as I have been instructed, Professor. With the mine closed down, there'll be no one around to observe your excavation.
Le professeur, c'est le professeur qu'on cherche.
Ah, I have visitors.
Just remember what I told you, General. There's really no need to make a martyr out of that man.
Général. C'est mon général, si. Olé. Hola.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, Senor. Welcome to Quaramonte.
Thanks. My name's George Stobart from California.
But what is this? An angel come down to earth.
Nicole Collard. Enchanté, mon général.
Ouais, ça se voit que c'est les Français qui font les doublages quoi. Mais je veux la voir son VF.
Pardon me, señorita, but I couldn't help myself.
Look, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
You've come to the right place, senor. Tourist information. General Graciento, at your service.
T'es général et tu t'occupes du tourisme. Balvoison.
This is the tourist office? It says police on the sign outside.
It is both, senor. I am a man of many parts.
Bon, finalement, niveau accent raciste, ils sont pas mal les Anglais, quoi.
Have you heard of a guy called Karzak?
No? No, I never heard of him.
Bah non, il me propose pas la version...
I hear there was an accident.
Il me propose pas la version VF. J'essaierai de fouiller dans les fichiers du jeu, mais...
A few.
30?
J'ai
Barely
une...
1% of the working
J'ai un doute.
population.
Is it true there's a restriction on music in Quaramonte?
Yes, there is. An emergency measure introduced by Nuestra Senora.
Folk music is a link with the past for some of these people. Take away their musical roots and what do they got left?
Easy listening.
You think easy listening could replace a musical heritage hundreds of years old?
Why not? It happened in your country.
Are there any ruins around the city?
Of course, senor. Quaramonte has everything.
I have a friend who wants to visit an historical site.
Ronaldo will only be too pleased to conduct a guided tour. When he's dealt with today's paperwork, of course.
Who's the guy you were talking to when we arrived?
Professor Ubier. A visitor, senor, like
On était sûr que c'était lui.
yourselves.
Did you say Ubier?
Si, senor. Professor Ubier, a French archaeologist.
What's Ubier doing in Quaramonte?
Researching our rich and glorious past, senor. The professor is planning an expedition to some Mayan ruins. He came to see me to get an excavation permit.
Do you know anything about the forthcoming eclipse, General?
Such things do not interest me, senor.
Si, senor.
Take a look at this label.
Si, senor. Condor Transglobal.
Can you tell me where to find their offices?
No, senor. I never heard of them, and neither did Ronaldo.
Ok, ça va, ça va.
I'll be back.
Je peux lui parler à Glandu ou pas? On parle à Ronaldo.
Hi, I'm George Stobart.
Hello, senor. How can I help you?
Are there any ancient pyramids near Quaramonte?
Si, senor. But it's not very impressive. It's in ruins.
That's perfect. Would you be willing to give a guided tour of the ruins?
I can't. The General would have a fit if I left all this paperwork.
You know anything about this eclipse?
No, senor. El General keeps me in the dark about most things.
Ok, vous savez
So long.
rien. Bon. Je suis pas plus avancé, mais moi je sais que Oublier, c'était bien lui. Pif paf puf.
You came on a little strong with the General.
I was merely flattering his ego, Georges. Every man has his Achilles heel.
Maybe. But that guy's weakness isn't in his foot. Tell me about this Karzak guy.
Well, I saw him for only a few minutes, but he frightens me. I got the impression that Pablo was nervous when he was around too. His eyes, they're like a wild animal's, like a tiger. That's what scared me most about him. He looked so unpredictable and dangerous.
Did you know Ubier's wife was a film star?
No, I didn't know he was married. What happened to her?
She died. In mysterious circumstances, apparently.
How mysterious.
I heard she was murdered. Possibly by Ubier himself.
A murderer, huh? André said he was something of a celebrity.
Labano tells me he's been seeing a lot of you.
We meet sometimes for lunch, a drink. After you'd gone back to the States, I was pretty lonely, you know.
Lonely? You must have been desperate. Couldn't you just visit the zoo or something? Would you like a biscuit?
Gourmet dog? Have you been eating those things, Georges?
Sure, they're great.
Monsieur Gouet.
That man we saw talking to the General was Ubier. Didn't you recognize him?
I never met him, remember? The guy I called in Paris claimed to be Oublié, but he sounded nothing like the man in the police station. Maybe the professor really is innocent.
Nah, it's
Ouais.
too much of a coincidence that he's here in Quaramonte.
Si lui est innocent, moi je suis la reine d'Angleterre.
Take a look at this.
Mon Dieu! Where did you get that kind of money?
It's not mine. I found that statement at Ubier's house.
Quoi là-bas? Ah bah le là oublié. C'est les branches.
Professor Ubier?
Yes? Who are you?
My name is Stobart. George Stobart.
I thought that face was familiar. Remember me, George? Dwayne Henderson.
Hi, Dwayne. Just a moment. I have a few questions to ask the professor here. Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Yes, I know him. In fact, if it wasn't for Kazak, I wouldn't be here.
What?
He's financing my expedition.
Tu peux lui parler en place.
What do you know about my girlfriend's abduction?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She was invited to your mansion in Paris.
Not by me, she wasn't. I haven't been home for nearly 7 months.
Have you ever employed a Central American butler or servant?
I've never employed any kind of servant, monsieur.
Tell me about your wife, Professor.
Please, I don't want to talk about her.
Maybe you don't, but I do. Why was she known as the Little Dachshund?
It was just a silly pet name I used to call her. Somehow some damned reporter found out.
Can you tell me anything about this stone?
Where did you get that?
That's my business.
How much do you want for it?
It's not for sale. Can you identify this statue, Professor?
Oh yes. Tezcatlipoca,
À tes souhaits.
the Lord of Darkness.
A Central American god, right?
A supreme deity. Tezcatlipoca means literally smoking mirror. There.
Smoky
You see the
Mirror, le nom du
shield
jeu,
in his left
voilà.
hand? The Mayans believed he could look into the mirror and see into the hearts of men. He was the wind which came howling in the night in search of victims, and victims they gave him by the thousand.
Human sacrifices?
Men, women, children, animals,
Heureux
anything that
sorcière.
bled. The steps of his temple ran red with the blood of sacrifices. The Mayans have a legend that says he'll return one day. I hope I'm not around to see it.
Un dieu maya. Après les Templiers, les dieux mayas. Génial.
Do you see this label?
Yes, it refers to a company named Condor. What of it?
I traced that company here, to Quaramonte. Do you know where I can find the offices of Condor Transglobal?
The company no longer exists. They went bankrupt recently.
Ouais, pour une compagnie qui a soi-disant fait banqueroute.
Do you know anything
voilà,
about
quoi.
this eclipse, Professor?
Of course. It's not the reason I'm here in Quaramonte, but I'm looking forward to seeing it all the same.
Qu'est-ce que j'aimerais bien voir une éclipse, mais genre de bien la voir quoi.
What's your interest in the eclipse, Professor?
Oh, it's purely a layman's curiosity. History's my subject, not astronomy. But I've been fascinated by the movements of the heavenly bodies since I was a child. I wouldn't miss a total eclipse for the world.
Take a look at this, Professor. What have you got to say about that?
Where did you get this?
Never mind that. How do you explain these withdrawals,
I left my financial affairs in the hands of my secretary.
Ben, voyons.
including the withdrawal of funds in cash from your personal account?
I trust Gwyneth implicitly.
And why Marseille? Why the very place my girlfriend was taken?
That's obvious, Stobart. We are both the victims of the same devious plot.
What plot?
J'ai pas confiance en lui, bizarrement.
Does the eclipse have some special significance for you?
From me? No. For the ancient Mayans, it marked the end of the Fifth Age.
Perhaps we should be celebrating.
Ah, no. The end of each age heralds
Oui,
destruction
comme le
on a
soi-disant
global
fin du calendrier
scale.
maya qui annonçait la fin du monde.
Final age.
Ça c'est pas du tout la fin du
Ending
monde,
in the
ça
total
annonce la fin
destruction of the
d'un
earth.
monde, d'un cycle. Bon, il me dira rien de plus le vieux.
Are you still working for... you know who?
Who's that, George? You know I'm retired.
Oh, nothing. Forget it. I confused you with somebody else.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Do you think the general was involved with Condor?
Hell no. And if he's a general, I'm a Buddhist. No, that fella's just a mouthpiece for the real power in Quaramonte.
So the general is nothing but a puppet?
He's like Pinocchio before he met the Blue Rinse Fairy. Strictly strings and wood.
Who's pulling the strings?
His mother. Better known as La Presidenta, the dictator.
Une dictatrice, ça change.
Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Sounds like a comic book villain to me, son.
He's the man behind Condor, and the rat who kidnapped Nico.
You know, the first time I met you, I was deeply impressed with your naive simplicity. I said to Pearl, if we ever had kids, I would have wanted a boy like George. But I underestimated you, son.
Did you know that traditional music is illegal in Caramonte?
Is that so? Seems reasonable to me.
No, really. The leader of the band in the square has been in prison just because of the music he played.
I don't know who you've been talking to, but that fella, Miguel, he's an agitator.
What's the real reason the musician was in prison?
Handed out subversive literature at the mines. That so-called general was waiting for Miguel when he got back into town.
Oh,
Marched
il
him off
y a
to
une
jail
révolution,
at gunpoint
une révolte
on a
de
charge
dans
of
l'air.
inciting a riot.
I spoke to Pearl earlier.
Yeah? Did she mention that we had a kind of falling out?
Yes, she did.
She'll get over it.
Did you drive all the way down here?
Hell no. Pearl did the driving while I followed the maps. The way
Attends, ils ont
she
fait
handled the
l'Amérique du
wheel,
Nord
you'd
jusqu'à
think
l'Amérique
she'd
centrale
been
en camion.
trucking half her
Ça
life.
marche.
What's in the truck, Dwayne?
Oh, just camping equipment. Sleeping bags and tents. Me and Pearl always hankered after a taste of the great outdoors.
Aren't you worried about camping out in a tropical jungle?
We had a trial run in West Virginia. This'll be a breeze in comparison.
Oh putain, le touriste américain de base, quoi.
Would you like to borrow my lucky piece of coal, Dwayne?
What's so lucky about it?
Well, we made it to Quaramonte in one piece.
When you've been here a few days, you won't look on that as luck.
Bon. Je suis toujours pas plus avancé que ça. Putain, touriste de base, quoi. Hola, señor. Tu vends de la poiscaille? Ouais.
Do you have crabs?
No, only fish.
Do you recognize this statue?
Si, senor. It is very, very bad luck. That
Ok.
is Tezcatlipoca.
Si je veux faire peur aux gens, je vais juste te
know,
montrer cette
but
statue.
I don't believe in luck, good or bad.
You may not now, but you...
The guy got scared out of
Pardon.
his wits.
Excusez-moi, je m'emporte un peu dans mon délire de
Go
super
away.
méchant. Ok, ça va, pète un coup, ça ira mieux. Oula, chantilly chèvre. Mais toi aussi. Hein. Si je libère, ça fait quoi? Oh. Rappelle-toi, Georges, la dernière fois que tu t'es confronté à une chèvre, tu t'es fait déglinguer par une vieille biquette un peu aigrie. C'est un peu ça, ouais.
In Quaramonte, defacing a poster was probably a capital offense.
Ah oui, quand même. Ça rigole pas, hein.
Hey, Nico!
Tu peux montrer la... Non, je pense pas que ça fasse quoi que ce soit. Je trouve que la chèvre, elle s'en bat les steaks. Bonjour. Hola, señora. Señorita, mamacita, tell me what you say.
Hola,
Oh, Conchita.
señora.
Hi. We were wondering...
I was talking to the lady, Chico.
Pouh, ça c'est fait.
Hi, my name is Nicole Collard.
Concha Garcia. How can I help you, sister?
The corporation I represent is considering a major investment in Quaramonte. Your advice, as the head of an obviously successful concern, is precisely what I'm after. My assistant, Mr. Stobart, has a few questions he'd like to ask you.
Ok, je suis son assistant. D'accord, ça fait plaisir. Oh, Conchita.
Have you heard of a man named Karzak?
No? Who is he?
He's the reason we came to Claramonte. We think he's running a drug ring.
Well, I hope you find him, but I've never heard the name before.
Charmant
Tell me about
accueil,
the
n'est-il
accident at the
pas?
mine.
Accident? It was sabotage. Somebody wanted my mine closed down for good.
Oh.
Do you have any evidence that the mine was sabotaged?
Not yet, but I'll get to the bottom of it. There'd been trouble at
Je
that
ferai ta
mine for
connerie de la
several
chèvre
months.
après,
The
sorcière, promis.
workforce was getting smaller every day. Someone had started a rumor among the men that the mine was cursed. Now the entire operation has been closed down.
Where's the site of the mine?
Several days upriver at a remote area known as Teoculcan.
Do you know Professor Ubier?
Yes. I understand he is about to embark on an archaeological expedition. He hired some equipment from me earlier today.
I overheard him talking to the general. I think they're working together.
What? If I'd known that, I wouldn't have hired out the equipment. Now, why would the general be interested in an archaeologist?
Bonne question.
Have you heard about the forthcoming eclipse?
I don't take much interest in things like that. One of the boys might know about it.
D'accord, je vais rien lui faire.
Do you recognize the icon on this label?
Condor Transglobal.
Did the company operate here in Caramonte?
Yes, they ran an old container ship, the Mayan Princess.
Can you tell me anything about this statue?
It is Tezcatlipoca, the god of death and pestilence. That fetish would be considered by many to be a bad omen.
Cool. J'adore faire peur aux gens.
Does this stone mean anything to you?
I think it is a spirit stone carved by a Mayan priest, no? I don't know which of their many gods it represents.
Oh, j'ai l'habitude, moi, à force, crois-moi. Assistante. Ok, il faut pas parler. Bon, on se casse, hein.
Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to Consolidated Mining. If you are planning to stay in an interactive...
A tour of a mine.
Well, this...
Do you know where I could find Senor Karzak?
No, senor.
Tu sers à rien. Moi, ça dit que toujours. Pardon. Je m'emporte un peu. Bon. Eh la chèvre, t'as peur? Bouh. Voilà, ça ne servait à rien, merci sorcière. Hein. Baraque. Ici, je fasse avec la baraque.
Inside the hut was a chair and a small table.
Cool. Totalement inutile. Merci Georges. Je vais essayer. C'est un point and click, mais les énigmes ne sont pas aussi barrées que les point and click qui viennent du feu. Comment ça s'appelle, Lucas Arts. Hein. C'est pas Sam Max ou autre. Donc, à qui je pourrais parler? Hola, señor. Okay.
Hi there. What have you got for sale?
¿Qué?
I said, what have
Okay.
you got? Oh, never mind.
Ok, papa anglais. Ok. Est-ce qu'il n'y a pas des trucs à piquer chez... Heureusement ils ont pas le droit de jouer de la musique. Hein. C'est ce qu'ils sont en train de faire. Par là-bas, il y a quoi? Oula. Du coup, la caméra se prend un coup de speed. Et ici... Ah tiens, l'autre il s'est barré. Ah. Hola, señor.
Hi, I'm George Stobart. What can you tell me about the mining
Ah, c'est
company?
le cousin de l'autre qui a
General
perdu ses jambes.
closed down one of their mines after the explosion. Lots of folks lost their lives. I was lucky. I
C'est le
only
cousin
lost
de
my
l'autre,
leg.
le musicien.
Can you tell me anything about this stone?
That's obsidian. It's a volcanic rock which has cooled so
Lui, moi,
fast.
s'y connaît.
Yeah, look, I'm not interested in geology.
Oh, c'est quoi ces voix
You're not.
pourries?
I suppose you want to know about the carved picture on it.
That's right.
Then the guy you should talk to is the professor. He was here a while ago.
Non, mais il s'est barré, le professeur.
Have you heard
Je
about
vais
the
éviter de lui faire
eclipse of
peur
the
d'entrer en
sun?
lui montrant
Sure,
la...
I'm having a party to celebrate it. Drop by.
Really?
Sure. Plenty of food, plenty of wine, and everyone's invited, except the general.
Why don't you want the general at your party?
Because if he comes, he'll bring those damned music albums from the 70s.
Excellent.
Do you recognize the design on this label?
Why, sure. That's the Condor Transglobal Shipping Company logo.
Do they have an office in Quaramonte?
No, but they ship out from here.
That's what I thought.
Je montre le string de Nico.
What do you think of these panties?
Awesome. You wear them?
No, someone sent them to my girlfriend.
Thoughtful.
Do you know what this statue represents?
Should do. I used to carve things like that to sell to tourists. But it scared people around here, so I stopped.
Bon, bah c'est bien, tu m'as pas appris grand chose. Réseau cellule, comment faire pour me débarrasser du général? Créer une diversion dans la gendarmerie, parler de la carte au général. Ah. Putain, j'ai fait 41% du jeu? Non, t'es pas sérieux? Genre j'ai fait la moitié du jeu quasiment. Il est si court que ça ce jeu?
Hey, Nico!
J'en doute quand même. J'en doute. Bon, on verra bien. Alors, à parler de la carte au général. Si. Putain, le sourire qu'il a le mec. C'est horrible. Et le mec il me laisse faire. Oh.
Senor,
Oups.
leave the child alone.
Do you have a map of Quaramonte?
A map? I'm sorry, senor, but I don't.
What
Ouais,
about
ouais,
the
il
one
fait
on
un
the
peu
wall?
sourire
That
carnassier.
is an archaeological survey map, senor. Not suitable for tourists.
What do you think of these panties, General?
Oh boy, fabuloso!
They're yours if you'll tell me all you know about Karzak.
I told you. I never heard of the guy.
Dommage, j'aurais
Do I get
essayé.
the panties now? I told you all I know.
You told me nothing. Are you sure you never heard of Condor?
Oh, yes.
The company is registered here in Quaramonte City.
You are mistaken, senorita.
Condor is run by Karzak, isn't it?
Wrong again, senor. Karzak has nothing to do with anything called Condor, whoever he is.
Do you keep a record of companies registered in Quaramonte?
Of course, senorita. Unfortunately, all the records
Ouais,
were
ouais,
destroyed
ouais, c'est
by
ça.
a flash flood.
Ben voyons.
I'll be back.
Foutonne ma gueule. On va parler à Dwayne maintenant.
Maybe I'm wrong, but you seemed kind of evasive when I asked you about what you had in that truck before.
Damn right I was being evasive. I couldn't talk in front of the foreign nationals, see? George, I'm on a top-secret classified mission for Uncle Sam. This truck is a rolling bomb. 400 pounds of nitrate fertilizer with a plastique initiator. They'll hear the bang in China. Gee, I'm really looking forward to this.
Is Miguel the reason you're here?
Pretty smart, George. I was supposed to make contact with him. By the time I found him, though, he was in jail. I've been trying to figure out a way to get him out since then.
Sounds good to me. Count me in.
Good man, George. All I need is a detonator.
Détonateur.
How come you brought a truckload of explosives but no detonator?
Call me old-fashioned, but I say packing trunks is woman's work. I left the packing to Pearl, and I can't find a darn thing. Just hope she remembered to bring my denture polish. I'd sure hate to arrive back in the States with tar on my teeth.
Ouais. Voir Dwayne au bureau de la compagnie minière et parler à Conchita. Cette carte pourrait l'intéresser. Place parler de la carte à Nico. Alright.
Do you have any kind of detonating device in stock?
Sure. They're kept in that cupboard.
I don't suppose you have one spare?
I can't simply give you a device like that, no without a damn good reason.
The General has a chart in his office, which he was discussing with Ubier.
Perhaps that chart will tell us where they're heading.
Maybe, but I can't get anywhere near it while the General and his sidekick are there. You see this? It's...
Was so lucky?
I'm not sure yet.
Hey! Stay out of that cupboard.
C'est bon, ça va, c'est stress, hein. 80 sur place, parler de la carte à Nico et voir le général. On va voir le général. C'est quand même alambiqué leur truc, hein. Parlons de la map.
Did you notice that chart on the police station wall?
Yes, it looked like a map to me, but I couldn't make out the details.
Whatever it was, the General didn't want us to see it. Could you distract the General while I took a look at that chart?
You're kidding. Did you see the way he was leering at me?
Yeah, you'd make a great snake charmer. Come on, 5 minutes is all I need.
Quel
Well,
enculé.
maybe. But it's your harebrained scheme. You do the talking.
Ok, ça va, c'est bon. On se calme, hein. Général.
My girlfriend has a favor she wants to ask you, General.
For you, my dear. Anything.
Putain. Alerte prédateur, quoi.
I've changed my mind.
Oh, no, you haven't. She's embarrassed about asking you for an interview, General.
An interview with me? Fabuloso!
Well, I want to write a story about you.
You hear that, Ronaldo? An exclusive glossy spread about your beloved general.
Bien cirer son ego, tu vois.
Si, Signor General.
Look after
C'est
him.
clair, c'est les dents de la mer.
I'm
Quoi.
going back to my apartment and I don't want to be disturbed.
I'll get you for this, Georges Stobart.
Don't worry. If you're gone for more than a couple of hours, I'll come and get you.
A couple of hours?
Oh mon dieu, au secours quoi. J'espère que lui va pas me faire chier.
No, 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 Signor.
He won't know unless you tell.
You don't know him, Signor. He will worm it out of...
Okay, okay. I'd have to get rid of him.
Ah, il y a un mec relou. Passez dans le jouer une guide touristique. Oh.
Would you take my friend to the ruins now the general's gone?
I'd be honored, Signor.
Thanks. I'll go get her.
Georges Stobart, où l'art est la manière de se servir de ses potes pour arriver à ses fins. Pearl, my dear.
I've made the arrangements for your visit to the temple, Pearl.
Oh, that's just great, George. Why don't you come too, honey?
I'd love to, but right now I have to save the world.
Ben, voyons.
Listen, sweetie. I'm looking for an official guide to take me to the old pyramid.
For a lovely lady, I would go to the ends of the earth.
Mais
For you, I will go as far as the pyramid and back. But what about your husband?
What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Let's go, Beanpole.
What the fuck? Oh putain, ça s'arrange pas. Bon, allez, on se
As
débarrasse.
Pearl and Ronaldo set out for the ruined pyramid, I prepared to search the police station.
On va taxer ce qu'on peut taxer et puis YOLO.
It looked like a geological survey map showing the land to the southeast of Cuaramonte City. About 60 miles inland and upstream was an area marked Teoculcan.
À y être, on fout tout. Hein.
I had no need for junk mail, especially someone else's.
C'est pas drôle, Georges.
It was a computer monitor with some kind of outdated game displayed on it. I didn't have time to get sidetracked by playing computer games.
On a toujours le temps pour une petite partie de jeux vidéo, Georges. Tout le temps. Je peux prendre les fax? Non. Visiblement.
I decided to leave the television switched on.
Il est pas drôle, hein.
The filing cabinet was probably locked.
Non, peut-être faire sortir l'autre, mais je suis même pas sûr qu'on puisse le faire. Miguel, si.
I'm George Stobart. You're Miguel the musician, aren't you?
Ex-musician, senor. My career is finished.
Going to jail could be the boost your career needed.
Senor, I would rather die than live with this shame.
Have you heard of a guy called Karzak?
Yes. The old man spoke of him.
The foreigner? Professor Ubier?
That's right. This man Karzak is Ubier's boss.
What?
Why is that noose hanging from the bars?
Ronaldo strung it up, for me to hang myself. Don't cry for me, Senor Stobart. When I am dead, the goddess will take my soul to rest in paradise.
Je suis sûr qu'il y a moyen de le faire sortir.
I couldn't reach the noose.
Alors. Bon, je peux pas le faire sortir pour le moment. Peut-être une prochaine fois, on va aller savoir. Bon. Visiblement, le chef des musiciens est aussi un dissident politique, donc il se fait arrêter, quoi. Tout simplement.
I got a good look at that chart in the police station. It's a map of Quaramonte.
Does it tell us where Ubier is heading?
Yeah, a place called Teoculcan.
That's the site of the mine. I wonder why they're being so secretive about Ubier's plans. One thing's for sure. If the general's involved, they're up to no good. I'd like to talk to that musician Miguel. Take the detonator and get him out of that jail.
Oui, madame, bien, madame. C'est bon, il l'a pris?
There was nothing else I wanted in the cupboard.
Ah, fait chier. J'ai le détonateur, c'est bon. Maintenant, on va revoir comment il s'appelle. Oui, bah ça, en même temps, il y a une dictatrice, oui. Elle va pas réchapper à la règle, hein. Ici, au pied.
Here is the detonator, Dwayne.
Keep your voice down, George. You want everyone to know. You'd best go and warn Miguel that the U.S. cavalry's on the way.
Okay.
U.S. cavalry. Le mec. Il s'y croit.
Hey, Miguel.
What is it? What is happening?
We're getting out of here.
Who's we? They've sent the Delta Force?
Nope.
The Impossible Missions Force?
Don't make me sick. Much better.
Who then?
A retired greetings card salesman from Ohio.
I'm doomed.
You're not the only one.
I should have known you'd be trouble the moment I saw you.
Look, I can explain everything.
Get in that cell, now.
And what if I refuse?
He'll shoot you.
Okay, here I am, going quietly into the cell.
Very wise, not Americano scum.
One of the reasons I hate guns so much is the way they make people so damned impolite.
J'ai merdé ou quoi?
I hope you're enjoying your vacation, Senor Stobart.
Go polish your weapon, Ronaldo.
This was part of your plan, right?
Well, in a manner of speaking, no. I was all out of ideas. It was up to Nico now.
So, here we are.
Oh le
You've
mec.
changed.
I thought I would slip into something more comfortable.
Oh là là, mais
The
les goûts
stench of cheap cologne
de
rolled
chiottes
over
qu'il
me
a, quoi.
like tear gas.
So, what do you want to know about me? Ask and I will answer. I will deny you nothing.
Oh mon dieu, mais au secours, quoi. La peau de pente de tigre
I am
et
a
tout.
very giving person.
How nice for your friends.
Your eyes are glittering like stars.
Oh putain, le dragueur relou, quoi.
His damn cologne was making my eyes water. I was running out of sofa.
As spirited as you are beautiful, I admire that.
As
Oh,
long as he
yeah.
admired it from afar.
Lampe à lave, oh putain.
I didn't
Ah oui.
want the lava lamp.
Oui, il se prend carrément pour le serial lover du coin. Hein. Oh mon dieu, mais au secours, quoi. Achevez-moi.
Is that a lava lamp?
Sure, it's more impressive in the dark. I'll close the blinds.
Oups.
No, no, don't do that. Not
Ouais, non,
such
t'as
a
raison,
beautiful
Nico,
day.
vaut mieux pas. Oh putain, mais au secours, mais achevez-moi. Mais lol, il met du porn, quoi. T'es sérieux, mec?
The tiger was beyond help. I didn't want to watch a lot of tawdry soap operas.
Ouais, enfin, un sitcom où on voit des boobs, quoi. Donc bon, au niveau sitcom, tu m'excuses, cocotte, mais
On close inspection, I noticed that the swordfish was peppered with machine gun bullet holes. The general was a real sportsman, and no mistake.
Est-ce qu'on peut faire plus cliché que ça, quoi?
I didn't want the picture.
Je veux te manger, c'est pour me te manger, mon enfant. C'est clair. Il avait été dévoré, signorita. Et pas que des yeux, crois-moi. Oui, si. Oh mon dieu, putain. Au secours, quoi. Sentez-moi cet enfer.
Who's the guy with the hat and the fat cigar?
My mother.
Big fish.
Oh putain.
Catch it yourself?
Catch it. Fishing poles are for children.
C'est qui le mec avec le chapeau? C'est ma mère.
Are those
What?
bullet holes?
What?
2 magazines on full automatic. It put up quite a fight.
Putain, sacrée merde, quoi.
I love your TV.
Oh yeah, cool, no?
Oh putain, c'est vraiment sa mère!
Mom, what is going on here?
What the fuck?
Nothing, Mom. I was...
I'm in uniform. And when I'm in uniform...
What? Ah, c'est la générale, la
Sorry,
la dictatrice?
Madame la Presidenta.
Now,
What?
what is going on here?
Nothing, Madame la Presidenta. I was just showing my friend Nico some of the cool stuff I've got.
Hi.
Good afternoon, señorita. And just what are your intentions toward my son?
Intentions? We were just talking.
How nice. She has good bone structure, Raoul. Has she any brains?
She's a reporter.
Is she? And what sort of questions has she been asking?
I'm a freelance photojournalist. I do lifestyle features.
For what sort of magazines?
It looked safest to play dumb with good bone structure. Haya, lifestyle of the super rich and vainglorious, Envy magazine,
Excellent. Raoul, you've chosen well for a change.
It was pretty obvious who pulled the strings around here. I hope George was making good use of the time I was buying
Oh
him.
putain, mais au secours.
And then it goes, pa 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 pa. And when you were in this band of yours, you used to play that song for 2 hours?
Yeah, we were really famous at our college. Still, ours wasn't as good as the original version.
I have never heard that song before, yet I have no doubt that this must be true.
Hey! Psst! Hey, George!
Dwayne Henderson. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. Get to the American consul and tell him I've been imprisoned without charge.
Get real, George. He was the previous occupant of that cell you're in. We're gonna have to use good old American know-how to get you out of there.
Republican Space
And
Ranger.
this truck full of explosives I've got here.
Dwayne, listen to me. You'll kill all of us.
You're such a naysayer, George. It'll go like clockwork. Negative to negative, it's positive to you gotta get the bare copper wire here. Let me just, damn. Alright, I'll just hook that up. Alright, there we go. Okay, just a minute. I've got to get to a safe distance.
Quick, Miguel, hit the mattress.
You have strange customs up north.
Here we go.
Too late.
Are we dead yet?
C'était ça ces explosifs?
Horse shit.
What happened to the explosives?
There ain't no explosives. My dumbass supplier must have given me organic fertilizer instead of chemical. All I got here is 400 pounds of lightly fried horse apples.
That's a lovely image, Dwayne. Never mind, I'll think of something.
Oh, ce fail. Oh, mais ce fail le plus total, quoi.
The door was locked. I couldn't escape that way.
Non, sans déconner, Georges. Oui, purée, effectivement, sorcière, c'est de la purée, là.
I couldn't reach. I wasn't going to demean myself by using the bucket until I was desperate.
Au secours. Chercher quelque chose d'utile dans la cellule. Mais il n'y a rien d'utile dans cette cellule. Quoi, le pollué de la corde.
Listen to me, Miguel. You give me that rope and I'll get us out of here. Is there somewhere you can hide from the General?
Of course. My friends have a boat ready to take me upriver. But how are you going to break out of here with just a short piece of rope?
I'm not sure. But I'll think of something.
Mon Dieu, mon Dieu, mon Dieu, mon Dieu.
If your plan doesn't work, will you let me hang myself in peace?
Ne sois pas négatif. Ah, pas encore.
Give me a...
Okay.
I couldn't escape.
Ouais. Et... Prenez un bout de la corde et de l'œil à Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne, I want you to tie this rope to your truck and then drive forward. I'd had no idea whether this was really going to work, but I'd seen it in a black and white western. Of course, Hopalong was using a horse and Dwayne had a 4-ton truck, but hey, the principle's sound.
Anything you say, George.
Please forgive my mother. She can be a little difficult.
Oh, my feet, Raoul! Propose, you idiot!
What?
Don't mind her. She just wants grandchildren.
Don't think I can't hear you, Raoul. I want the worthy successor, and you're not it. Propose now, or I'll do it for you.
Look, Nico, we haven't known each other very long, but...
Oops.
What the hell was that?
I didn't know what was going on, but Georges had to be involved in it somewhere.
On se casse.
I ain't gonna say a thing, 'cause that's
C'est
sweet
clair.
sound of falling
C'est exactement ça,
masonry says it
sorcière.
all.
Quick, senor, the river.
Huh? Wait, what about Nico?
Elle est là. Allez, monte.
Georges, what have you done? You only had to sneak a look at the chart, and it's turned into World War III.
No time to explain. Come on.
Oh putain, mais cette équipe est de bras cassés, quoi. Ah mon Dieu.
Don't move, terrorist scum.
You talking to me, Junior?
Yes, I'm talking to you, fat man. And my name's not Junior.
A word to the wise, Junior. You carry on waving that pea shooter in my face, and the next person who sees it is gonna be your proctologist. Savvy?
General, I am happy to report that I have apprehended the terrorists.
You idiot, not them. The other American and the French woman. They're the ones.
On se casse. Allez, salut les losers. Ça nous a fait plaisir. Ouais, fuite discrète. La discrétion à la Georges Stubart. Putain. N'importe quoi. Oh oui, carrément. Ça va aller comme ça.
When I recovered consciousness, I was alone, washed up on the riverbank. My head was aching fiercely, and my mouth tasted like a swamp. But I followed the sound and discovered a treehouse in a nearby clearing.
Mon dieu, mon dieu. Bon, sur ce les gens, c'était quand je dis un petit live, de toute façon je vais faire que des petits lives sur le chevalier de Baphomet, vu qu'apparemment je suis quasiment à la moitié du jeu, quand je regarde. À 15% en 2h10 de jeu. Ça va vite, mais je pensais pas qu'il était aussi court ce jeu. Je vous fais des bisous, prenez soin de vous, et puis on se retrouve demain après-midi pour... ce sera du Monster Hunter World. See you, Space Cowboy.